Ladies and gentlemen, up next is Wendi Medashefski.
How are you? Are you having a good time? You love your country? Yeah! I can't hear you. Yeah! Beautiful, beautiful. I just want to say thank you for letting Voice of the People come down here and help you support yourselves and your community. You could come together with your voice and let everybody know how you feel about the whole situation that went down here a few weeks ago and everything that happened in the aftermath, which painted you all in a very bad light in the national media, which is extremely unfortunate. We came down here today because we have a plan. We want to help you guys set up a crime watch group and your own political action group, much like Voice of the People USA. But of course, you guys would get to name that whatever you'd like. You can send comments to thevoiceofpeopleiusa.com on the guest book if anybody who wants to join in on that, or you can email me. We have cards and we can write down the email address for those of you who want it. So please, anybody who's interested in doing those things should sign up, send an email, leave a message on the guest book. We'll get in touch with you. We're going to set up some meetings and talk about how you guys want to do it. Some other stuff. My good husband Ed here, he explained the basics of the 287G program. There's another one called the Criminal Alien Program. They refer to it as CAP. This one gives federal, state, and local corrections officers the ability to identify illegal aliens who are just about to finish their criminal sentences. In the past, criminal aliens have been let back out on our streets rather than sent back to their countries of origin. A lot of this is due to the fact that there are only a few thousand federal employees doing interior immigration enforcement away from the borders. Our law enforcement is clearly outnumbered and overwhelmed. Irving, Texas started using CAP on September 1st, 2006. Since then, they've turned over more than 2,000 criminal aliens with more than 5,000 charges between them as of January 8th of this year. These programs work. There's no reason why they can't work here in Shenandoah. I bet a lot of you are wondering why our localities are not already using CAP or 287G, and how can we get them to start? I'd like to bring your attention to the Comprehensive Immigration Reform Bill that Russo nicely brought up for me. Once word spread about this is the 7th amnesty bill that our government has tried to shove down our throats since 1986. They called it Comprehensive Immigration Reform, but we know it was the McCain-Kennedy amnesty bill. You know what happened? It was people like us, people like every one of you, who got on the phone with their elected officials and shut down the Capitol switchboard. You know what happened? You defeated that. There was no amnesty last year because of every single one of you. We can do this again just by starting right here in Shenandoah, Pennsylvania. When citizens work together, there's no way we can be stopped. We need to be organized and think outside the box. When we focus our collective energy together, we can vote out those who fail or refuse to do what we, the people, want them to do. Your mayor, Thomas J. O'Neill, told the Morning Call on August 26th that your town deserved the negative national spotlight for the incident that took place. He did. He did. It's in the Morning Call online. You can see it. He did. That's what he said. He went on to say that the people have had enough. They're worn down. Well, they sure are, Mr. Mayor. What are they worn down about? Well, maybe it's your inability or unwillingness to deal with the illegal alien problem in the town. I'll get to that. Perhaps this is endless pandering to ethnocentric groups. Maybe it has something to do with him refusing to unify the town, the whole town, just when they needed him the most. It's a sad day when a town like Shenandoah, who honestly really does have a reputation of not wanting outsiders around, but it's a sad day when a town like this has hundreds of residents calling a group of outsiders to come in and help get control of the situation. Voice of the People USA is just a small group of citizens who care about this country. And we care about each individual town, including Shenandoah, and each individual citizen and legal immigrant in our town. We've learned our leadership skills by going out to the streets, educating others, and being educated by the people we meet along the way.
Run for mayor!
I don't live here. Can I move in? Oh, funny. We've chosen to represent us at Voice of the People USA and our allies, like Dan Amato and Ruth Miller. We've chosen to represent the citizens of America, especially when our elected officials don't. It's a rough job. We don't get paid. We get harassed and we get called names and we get slandered in the media. The Voice of the People knows exactly how you feel. That's why we answered the calls for help. We refused to be silenced, and we still do what's right even when it seems everyone around us doesn't care anymore. We want to teach Shenandoah the methods we've picked up. Don't like me. The methods we've picked up to strengthen and unify the whole town, regardless of ethnic background. Mr. O'Neill has proven that he is undeserving of the honor of being your mayor, the leader of this town. I hope every one of you remember that when the next election rolls around.
He's up at the other rally.
You need to elect someone to this position who will have the integrity to not splash more negativity in the media when something awful happens. Someone who will stand in front of the reporters and say, "This is a great town. These are great people, and we'll get through this together as family of Americans." I'd like to mention that Mayor O'Neill was invited to speak here tonight to offer his solutions to Shenandoah's current problems.
You don't have one!
He was made aware by letter and by phone about the 287G program and the offer to speak to you all tonight. He never responded to our invitation.
Where's the mayor?
I believe your mayor's at the Unity Rally across town.
Oh, yeah.
So it's time to take this town back, get it back into the hands of the people who hold more power than our government would like us to believe we have.
Right.
Citizen action is the most patriotic way we can hold their feet to the fire and force our elected representatives to do what we want for our towns and for our nation as a whole. Peaceful assembly, that's what it's all about. Peaceful. So as I was saying, citizen action is the most patriotic way we can hold their feet to the fire and force our elected representatives to do what we want for our towns and for our nation as a whole. It's time to stop being afraid, stop caring what the media says, stop listening to those who would condemn us, and follow our patriotic instincts. Thank you for allowing us to be here tonight, and a special thank you to Joe Palavinsky for working with the ACLU attorney to approve our use of this park. And the biggest thank you to the law enforcement officers who are here to protect and serve us every day.